How's it going, guys? It's K Cars, and in this video I'm going to be doing a on-road driving review of my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ Sport. So first of all, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of an overview of the car, and then of course I'm going to go ahead and review it, how it drives on the road. So this isn't going to be like off-roading, this is going to be on-road. Obviously right now I am not on a road, but I will be here soon once I get out of this place. And I'm definitely going to be doing an off-roading video with this Jeep. Obviously that's what it's made to do. It's extremely smooth. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be luxurious at all. And I do have experience driving a Jeep Wrangler JK Rubicon, so that's kind of what I can compare it to. Now obviously a 2017 JK is going to be a lot smoother than a 20-year-old XJ. That's just how it is. But right now I'm on an actual concrete road and I'm not having any problems at all. Right now I'm just driving on a regular old concrete road, and I'll be honest, it is really smooth. I don't have any complaints with on-road driving. It is pretty bumpy when you go over bumps. Obviously it's not going to be as smooth as a brand new JK or a JL. I did drive a JL, it's a lot smoother than the JK, and just comparing it to this thing, obviously this thing is going to be more bumpy than those. But on-road driving, this thing really surprised me the first time I took it for a test drive. Now, talking about the actual details of this Jeep, I bought this thing 2 days after it was posted on Facebook Marketplace, and I feel like if I waited a little more than that, then it probably would have been gone. This thing was the cleanest XJ that I've seen on Facebook Marketplace, and I wasn't really searching for too long. It was probably like a month maybe. I saw this thing pop up, messaged the guy right away, went to see it the next day, test drove it, and it was really surprising. It definitely exceeded my expectations. Even on the highway, I took it out on the highway, got up to 70, no problem, and I was just cruising at 70 on the highway. Now obviously, if you guys know anything about Jeeps, is that they're really bad at high speeds. If the thing is basically a kite if it's a windy day and you're driving fast. It's like that with Wranglers and these old Cherokees. Anyways, I went to look at the Jeep, test drove it of course. It shifted very good, it still does. It has the AW4 automatic transmission. I did want to get a manual one, but I couldn't find any that were in good shape, and I was looking for one that was in good shape obviously and stock, so I settled for an automatic. But this thing was extremely clean. On the ad the guy said $4,000 firm, and whenever I went to look at it I did see some oil on the bottom, like a little oil leak, but I mean all of these XJs leak oil at least a little bit, so I kind of used that to my advantage. He wasn't really a Jeep guy, didn't really know much about it, and yeah, these bumps are definitely really bumpy, but the Jeep is soaking them up pretty well. I asked the guy if he knew anything about the oil leak. He said no. I offered him $3,000. He said no. Offered him $35,000. He said no. Then later that night I messaged him on Facebook, and you know, I told him if he had agreed to $3,500 I could give him cash tomorrow, and he said yeah, that sounds fair to me. So the next day I went to pick it up, and yeah, that's basically how the deal went. Now of course this thing has the 4.0 liter inline six. Everyone says it's a bulletproof engine. I haven't had any problems with it at all. I've been doing a lot of regular maintenance things so far. If you guys have been following up with the channel, then you'll see all the stuff that I've done to this Jeep so far. So for tutorials, definitely check out those videos. But yeah, this thing does really good on the road. I'm very impressed, and I can't wait to take this thing off-roading. And the brakes on this thing, I mean, they're not the best. I'm not sure if they've been changed, but they do feel a bit spongy, and they're definitely not the best. So that's something I'm going to have to look into sometime in the future. They're not terrible right now, but they definitely could be better. And I know I am talking about that. I mean, this is a 20-year-old car, so obviously the brakes are going to feel a little bit spongy. But again, I'm just giving you guys my perspective. If you're thinking about getting an old XJ, I will definitely take it for a test drive first, as you would with any car. The big thing for these XJs is rust. So, I mean, they all get rust. It's really hard to find one without rust. Now, the ad for this one said that it was completely rust-free and that it only had a little rust patch on the side of the rocker. And I looked underneath, and it had a lot more rust than just the rocker. So rust is definitely something you guys have to watch for if you're looking at getting XJ. So I'm actually the third owner of this Jeep. The first owner, I guess she took really good care of it, had all the maintenance records. Now, I couldn't find them, but the previous owner that I bought it from said that the first owner did have maintenance records of everything that was maintained. And the owner that I bought it from was an older woman. She said she put 5,000 miles on this thing in the 3 years that she owned it. And the first owner was actually her good friend that she bought it from. So I feel like I definitely got really lucky with this find, because these things are becoming pretty rare to find these days, especially a clean one like this, one that isn't all chopped up and rusted out, and one that can actually drive. That's why I jumped on this one as fast as I did. I don't know exactly what this Jeep gets. There's no gauge for fuel economy. This thing's too old for that. I know some people say that these old Jeeps really don't get good gas mileage at all, and I mean, it's a Jeep, so you can't really expect good gas mileage from an off-road car like this. But if you're buying a Jeep, you probably aren't buying it for the gas mileage. And if you are, then I probably wouldn't recommend it. This Jeep is made for off-roading, and that's what I'm planning to do with this Jeep. Now, I still want it to be a good, reliable daily driver, which is what I use it for now. But I'm still gonna take it off-roading. I'm just not gonna like completely destroy it, which is what some people do. Now, going up this hill, I mean, it's going fine. Obviously, it's gonna be slower than most cars. Stock, I believe this thing has 190 horsepower, which isn't bad for this old of a Jeep. And as you saw, I have never floored this car. To be honest, I'm kind of scared. I don't want it to like blow up or anything. Like, I don't want to ruin this thing by pushing it too hard. I actually do want to take care of this thing. So another thing that these old XJs are known for is overheating problems. Now, this one is sitting right at 210, which is their operating temperature. And I believe the fan kicks on right at 210, so it doesn't go above that temperature. And what I'm planning to do in the future is upgrade the water pump and the thermostat, just so the fan comes on a little bit earlier. If you guys are like Jeep XJ experts, let me know if that's a good idea down in the comments, because I know some people say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm not sure if I should upgrade the water pump if it still works good. And it's not like this Jeep has any overheating problems, because it doesn't. But I don't want to risk it eventually overheating and then cracking the head, which is another thing that these Jeeps are known for. The years of 2000 and 2001 are known for having bad heads, and they crack whenever they overheat. So I'm trying to prevent that by upgrading the water pump and thermostat, because I just don't want to risk cracking a head. So that's another thing to watch out for if you're looking at getting a Jeep, is, like I said, the 2000 and 2001s have those heads that crack pretty easily when they overheat. I've heard a lot of people say that the 98 and 99 Jeep XJs are the best years that you can get. So I guess if you can find a clean one in those years, then go ahead and get that over a 2000 or a 2001. I guess those heads are made a little bit better and they don't crack as easily as these. But yeah, like I said, this thing really is made for off-roading. As you can see, going around this turn, it's handling it pretty well. Like, I can't really complain about not being able to take turns, because this thing isn't made to take turns. If I was reviewing like a Corvette or I don't know, a GTR or a BRZ, Miata, anything like that, then I would be able to criticize like the turning and handling, because that's what those cars are made to do. Same with like acceleration. This Jeep isn't made for speed. It's not made for acceleration or anything like that. It's made to go off-roading, and that's what I'm going to criticize it on. Now, going up this hill, I have my foot down probably like 20%, and as you can hear, it is working pretty hard to get up this little hill. But I mean, I wouldn't really expect much from a 190 horsepower engine. Now, if you guys are watching this video because you just got an XJ, maybe you're looking for tips on how to properly maintain it. You guys want like video tutorials on how to do all those things, like oil change, oil filter, diff fluid, transfer case fluid, transmission fluid, transmission filter, spark plugs, stuff like that. I have video tutorials on all of those things, so make sure to go check those videos out if you want to see how to do those things. And also, one thing to know about these Jeeps is that the stock headlights are very dull. You can't really see much at night if you're just using the stock ones, so I definitely would recommend upgrading those to LEDs. I upgraded mine to the Quake LEDs. They're the QTE 463, I believe. That's the part number of the lights that I got. They're supposed to put out 3,300 lumens on high beams, and I'm very happy with the amount of light output that they actually put out. The only thing that I'm not happy about is that they flicker whenever they're not turned on. As you see there, I did just downshift to first, and it did that no problem, no stuttering or anything. I used to just do this going down hills to not use up the brakes really quick. So like I was saying, guys, the bottom row of LEDs flickers, and I'm not sure why that is. There was a place to wire up the daytime running lights, but the website didn't say anything about it having daytime running lights, so I'm not really sure what the problem is. I called them, they sent me a replacement, but they're still flickering. They sent me an anti-flicker harness, and it kind of just gave me a worse problem. I mean, the flickering did slow down a little bit, but they still did flicker. But the big problem was that whenever I turned the ignition completely off, key out and everything, the actual headlights turned on. So I'm thinking about just going ahead and getting those cheap Amazon headlights for like 80 bucks. I know a lot of people use those and haven't had any problems, so I might just do that and see if those flicker or not. But if you guys have any tips on how to stop the flickering, definitely drop those down in the comments. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave those down in the comments. And if you have any video suggestions for videos you would like to see in the future, also leave those down in the comments. And if you guys found this video informative or entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.